Title: Never Open Your Door at 3 a.m. Chapter 1: The Knock. It was exactly 3:00 a.m. when Oliver Hale heard the first knock. 3 slow taps against his front door. He sat upright in bed, heart thudding. Outside, the world was silent. No wind. No rain. Just the rhythmic creaking of an old house asleep. He lived alone, deep in the countryside of Maine, in a home surrounded by thick forest. Visitors were rare during the day. At night? Unthinkable. The knock came again. He reached for his phone. No service. He checked the clock again, 3:01 a.m. Whoever it was hadn't called out. They hadn't rung the doorbell. Just knocked. As if they knew he'd hear. Oliver slipped on a hoodie, grabbed the baseball bat he kept under his bed, and walked down the creaking stairs. The hallway leading to the door stretched like a tunnel, shadows thick and unmoving. He paused at the door. Another knock. Chapter 2: The Stranger. Through the peephole, Oliver saw nothing. He turned on the porch light. Still nothing. No one on the steps. No footprints in the thin dusting of snow that covered the porch. He waited. Knock. 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 This time the sound came from the back door. He spun around. No one had ever come from the back. That led directly into the woods. Oliver stepped cautiously to the kitchen, heart in his throat. The backyard was pitch black beyond the windows. He reached the back door, listened. Silence. Then, at a whisper, right behind him. Chapter 3: The Thing in the Hall. Oliver turned sharply, bat raised. No one. The hallway light flickered. Then, from the very end of the hall near the stairs, a shape stepped into view. It looked almost human, tall, thin, dressed in what resembled an old-fashioned funeral suit. Its face, however, was a blur, like someone had smeared oil across a photograph. Oliver couldn't move. The figure raised a hand and pointed at the door. Knock. 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 But no one was there. The knocking was coming from inside the walls. Chapter 4: Rules of 3 a.m. Oliver's grandmother had warned him as a child, never open your door at 3 a.m. It's when the world forgets what's real. He thought it was just superstition, folklore. But now the clocks in the house were frozen at 3 a.m. The figure was gone. The knocking had stopped. Then his phone vibrated. A message. You looked. From a number he didn't recognize. Then another. Now open. The front door unlocked by itself. Then Chapter 5: The Visitor. The door creaked open slowly. No one stood there, but the forest outside was wrong. Trees bent at impossible angles. The air shimmered, and in the center of the path stood a child-sized shadow, unmoving. It took a step forward. Oliver slammed the door, locked it, ran upstairs. Outside, more shadows emerged from the forest. 1, 2, 10. Faces hidden, bodies twitching slightly, like puppets on invisible strings. He shut the curtains, turned on all the lights. They flickered and went out. Chapter 6: The Mirror Test. In the dark, Oliver remembered another old tale. They can't reflect. If you see it in the mirror, it's not them. He grabbed a flashlight and ran to the hallway mirror. His own reflection stared back, terrified. But behind him, a figure stood. He turned around, nothing there. He looked again. Still there. Its face was clearer now. It looked like Oliver, but older, hollowed out, eyes black as void. It mouthed words he couldn't hear, then smiled. Chapter 7: The Loop. He awoke in bed, 3:00 a.m. Knock. 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 He checked the door. Nothing. He turned on lights. They worked. Had it been a dream? He turned on the TV. Every channel showed static. Then a face appeared, his own. Screaming silently, then the knock again. This time he opened the door. A mirror image of himself stood there. Let me in. Chapter 8: No Escape. He slammed the door, but time no longer moved. He was trapped in the 3:00 a.m. loop. Each time he resisted, the knock grew louder, closer. Each time he gave in, the world shifted more. The forest invaded his house. The walls bled. The figure became him, and he became forgotten. Epilogue. Found footage. Weeks later, hikers found the house abandoned. Inside were hundreds of drawings of clocks, each stopped at 3:00 a.m. On the wall was a message. Never open your door at 3 a.m.
But below it, in smeared ink, another message. You already did.